Howdy, I'm Trevor from the Mark Tank, and this is Give Him His Flowers, a series dedicated to taking some time to appreciate an unsung hero of the WWE. And for our first episode, I can think of nobody better than the man in my profile picture, The Miz. People have started to come around on Michael Mizanin in recent years, but I won't forget that this man faced nearly 2 decades of disrespect from the locker room and the fans. Everybody thinks of Randy Orton as the last man standing from the early 2000s era. And that's fair enough, his longevity has been incredible. But The Miz's season of Tough Enough aired in 2004. That's just 2 years after the famous 2002 debuts of Orton, Lesnar, Cena, and Batista. So that's right, The Miz only has 2 fewer years of tenure than the most famous wrestlers of the Ruthless Aggression era. Not only has The Miz been around for a long time, but he never left. When guys like The Rock and Batista left to hit Hollywood, John Cena insulted them for turning their back on the company right before he went and did the same thing. But the A-lister never did. Miz continued to work a regular WWE schedule, even while filming blockbusters like The Marine 4 and pumping out seasons of Miz and Mrs. He never disappeared from TV for more than a couple of months. The other praiseworthy component of his longevity is his safe ring work. The Miz is not gonna wow you with flips and technical wrestling, but hey, neither is Randy Orton or John Cena. What The Miz can do is wrestle clean and safe matches week after week for 2 decades. In his more than 20-year career, he has only had one serious injury, that ACL injury he had in 2021. And what did he do? He continued to appear on TV every single week in a damn wheelchair. Nobody's going to claim he's one of the best in-ring in the world, but people acting like The Miz can't wrestle are just dead wrong. The Miz can consistently tell a story in the ring and work a good match. Every now and then, he can even put out an absolute classic. Go watch Miz vs. Seth Rollins Backlash 2018, or against Daniel Bryan Night of Champions 2010, or in the Extreme Rules Fatal 4-Way 2016, and then come tell me that he can't wrestle. Better yet, go watch the best match and story of his career against Dolph Ziggler at No Mercy 2016 in the title vs. career match, and see how absorbed that crowd was in every single moment of that match, and then you will see that The Miz is a high-level worker. As recently as the end of 2023, Miz put on an absolute banger against Gunther at Survivor Series, and he had me believing for just a moment that he was going to end that record-breaking reign. People forget that for years the skull-crushing finale was a highly protected finisher, one of the few in the company, that was almost never kicked out of, but to be honest, it has been devalued in recent years. You see, The Miz can work with whatever the writers give him. Throw any tag team partner at him, John Morrison, Big Show, R-Truth, Damien Sandow, and The Miz will get it over. Put him into a weird storyline with the Wyatt Six kidnapping him, and The Miz will make it entertaining. He's a company man that will let you embarrass him week after week after week, and then cut such a good promo the next week that you still believe he's a credible threat. I mean, the guy called an audible at WrestleMania and took a people's elbow and pin from Snoop Dogg on the fly after an unexpected Shane McMahon injury. That is a guy that is way more concerned about delivering a great show to the fans than he is about protecting his own ego. The Miz actually apparently holds the record for the most losses in WWE history, which not only shows that he's always willing to put somebody over, but it also shows that he really is a workhorse of this company. Even when he was one of the hottest acts in the company, The Miz has always been selfless and willing to put over other wrestlers. The job of a good heel is to make the face a star, and The Miz has consistently made his best rivals, guys like Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, and of course John Cena, look like $1 million. The Miz was the first 2-time Grand Slam champion, had some good runs with the US title and on tag teams, but his best work is undoubtedly as Intercontinental Champion. I believe that The Miz is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Wrestling fans that have been around for a while will know that The Miz ain't lying when he says he brought the IC title back to relevancy and made it prestigious again. For much of the 2000s, the Intercontinental title was a throwaway mid-card title that got passed around to whatever wrestler Vince wanted to give a small push to. And then The Miz started having his runs with the title, and he put on a masterclass as a heel champion in the modern era, something that I think can be a lost art. Modern heels are these in-betweeners that half the audience is cheering for anyways, but The Miz always had real heat. During these reigns, Miz became the best talker in the company. He was able to generate heat by having Maurice distract referees, dressing like the world's biggest douchebag, insulting every town he showed up in, slapping Zack Ryder's dad after his big WrestleMania moment, and escaping by the skin on his back with his title week after week. It was classic heel work straight out of the 80s with a modern flair. During this time, we got the famous talking smack pipe bomb on Daniel Bryan that turned the wrestling world upside down. And then after that, we got the Monday Night Raw segment where he went out as a hated heel against the biggest baby faces in the company of the entire 2000s, Cena and Reigns, and cut such a perfect promo that he had the crowd cheering for him like he was a hero. I got goosebumps when he said, "Respect, earn it? I've earned it for 12 damn years." Well, that promo was almost 8 years ago now. He's earned it for 20 damn years. I think these promos came from a place of truth and were the point at which the wrestling world really started to appreciate The Miz. Everything he said was right. He had spent 12 years showing up and working hard week after week, only to get overlooked and disrespected in favor of and by the teacher's pets. Go watch those 2 promos again and tell me the last time you saw anything on WWE TV that seemed so genuine. Yes, we've all heard the stories on the internet about the young reality TV star Miz being a problem and getting kicked out of the locker room for being messy with his fried chicken or whatever it was. And I agree that in his early years, a lot of his in-ring and mic work fell pretty flat. But thanks to his long career and loyalty to one company, The Miz is somebody who you can literally watch year by year, learning, working hard, growing, and becoming one of the best in the world at what he does. We live in an era of blurred lines between heel and face, with anti-heroes and justified heels. Well, when The Miz is gone, everyone's going to realize that we have nobody else truly like him. He is a true villain, through and through. We can only hope to be blessed with him as a heel manager for decades to come. I say The Miz deserves to get back into the Intercontinental title picture before all is said and done with his career, and to unseat Jericho as the man with the most Intercontinental title reigns, and solidify himself as the best IC champion of all time. Hey, say what you want, but this man defeated John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania, and you can never take that away from me. So, let's all give the most must-see superstar in all of WWE his flowers. He has earned true veteran status, and I hope we have many more years of booing him ahead. Miz, you are awesome.